And also, like, everybody needs a truck or a vehicle. They just, doesn't matter. Like, you just throw the hammer at. Hello, how y'all doing? I'm doing good. I'm gonna do a video on my beloved OBS 1994 Ford F350. And really what I'm gonna do today is just show you what it's all about, give you what I bought it for, what I've done to it to make it more reliable than it was, and tell you kind of what my plans are for it. So really nothing more than me talking and showing today. So this thing, 1994 F350. It has the 5.8. It is a 4-wheel drive. It's got the single rear wheel. We're gonna get into the hood. Okay, we're into the hood. Oh. I'm gonna set you down for a second. You just gotta finesse it. You gotta finesse it. So, 5.8, it's got 154,000 miles on it. I've put 600-800 miles on it probably. But it runs pretty good. I'll go fire it up for you if you wanna hear it run. Whoa, there we go. I gotta shut it off because I'm inside, doors are closed, and it smells terrible. So, runs good right now. She's got a pretty serious oil leak. All that's from it. I don't know exactly where it's coming from, so more to come on that. But other than that, pretty good. So, she's got a flatbed on her. That is not stock. This bad boy is welded to the frame. Rust, really just surface rust. I painted the underside of it when I bought it. I need to repaint it because I just put a super thin coat just to get it covered up. And I drove it quite a bit this winter. So I need to repaint the underside and actually finish painting it. I did not get the up here done. She's got a little love spot right here around the fender wells, which is normal, right? It's got the old 265, 75, 16s on it. Wheels are in rough shape. I don't know if that'll buff out on its own, probably not, but we're not gonna put a bunch of money into it. So, it is not a race car. It is not a race car. It needs new tires. They are dry rotted and super old. They have a little bit of tread on them, but not much. So that would probably be the next thing if I were to do something serious and put some money into it. It has one fuel tank that works, the front one. You can kind of see it's newer. It's a 12-gallon tank. So I'm putting fuel in it basically every 24 miles. Just kidding, but it needs fuel a lot. I don't drive it long distances, but it's a gas hog. Even though it's a 5.8, it's a gas hog. Got a little love spot right here. What's a truck without a love spot or 500? A little rust there. Thinking about replacing the fenders on it. Overall, not sure about it. Has crossed my mind. I put this receiver hitch here on there myself. I bought me a nice ball hitch, and it has this bumper that has a trailer brake controller in it that the previous owner put on. And it's honestly, it's been a good truck so far. The guy that I bought it from used it on the farm to haul around hay with his gooseneck and just kind of like a errand running truck from the farm. So barely got off gravel for I don't know how many years. So overall good truck. Okay, so now what have I done to the truck so far since I've owned it? I changed the spark plugs, changed the oil, did all that normal maintenance stuff when I bought it. It has that oil leak that's pretty bad. I'm going to try to address that next, because my thought was when I bought the truck, if I can get it running good and get rid of the leaks without putting just thousands of dollars into it, then I'll keep it. So, and that's the last leak so far that is kind of hanging out. So we're going to look at that next. What I have done to it is, in addition to the changing the oil and stuff, I already said I put that receiver hitch on it. I've painted the bed, painted the underside, just spray paint. Cleaned out this. There was just mud and cow, S-H-I-T, everywhere. So I cleaned it up best I could without actually working too hard. I replaced this light. I need to get a new bulb. I've had it, probably the most expensive thing I did was this axle seal, the driver's side axle seal started leaking something fierce. I mean, it was just dumping oil out. So I had that replaced. That costed about $1,000, actually more than $1,000. The truck itself cost $3,500. So, you know, between that and what else did I have done? I know I've had other stuff done to it. Oh, I had it aligned, inspected, but the real big kick in the face was the steering wheel column was loose. So like it's not loose now, like it moved up, down, sideways. You couldn't hardly drive the truck. It was bad. And I think what happened was the bearing was out, and it was out for a long time, and it just got bad enough that it would catch when you were turning, so it would stop turning, and it ain't good. So got a one from a salvage yard and put that bad boy in there, and it's clean. Well, the steering wheel's clean as a crystal. At that same time, the wipers switch was broken, but with the new steering column, that fixed the wiper switch. The last thing that I'm going to touch on in this video is I've got a check engine light. So when you start the truck, warm it up, drive it for a little bit, the check engine light comes on. It doesn't really make the truck run any different, so I don't know if it's just a sensor or what, but it comes on, and this is the OBD1. So they tried to read it at the shop that I took it to have a column replaced. They couldn't get it read, so I don't know what's going on with it, but it runs fine, so is what it is, I think, at this point. As with any flatbed, if you are familiar with them, the gas fills super slow. If I keep it, I want to get the other tank working, because it does have two tanks, just the front one and the small one of those two is the only one that works. So I want to get that fixed up, maybe new tires, repaint the bed. I want to either get new fenders or at least get these love marks fixed up. But other than that, it doesn't have AC, so I don't really care. It's not a big deal to me. It's not like I'm going to be taking my family for trips in it. So, yeah, that's the truck. So more to come on it. I'm going to do one last walk around while I yap about it. But for a 94, it honestly runs pretty smooth, knock on wood. And, you know, I'm overly happy with it. I was a little bit down because I had to put a decent chunk of money into it. With those couple, the brake or the axle seal and the steering column. But other than that, you know, I've got probably $5,500 in it or so. I do have to get it renewed this year for registration, so I haven't done that yet. But I don't drive it hardly at all, so I haven't had a chance to do that, but we'll do soon. But yeah, runs good. It is not a race car, like I said earlier, but it's great for hauling just odds and ends stuff around here, and it's great for hauling stuff that's a little heavier. My car that I drive, my SUV, obviously is not a 1-ton truck, so I love this for just hauling that around. And also, like, everybody needs a truck or a vehicle that doesn't matter. Like, you just throw the hammer at it. It's a Cybertruck. It's basically a Cybertruck. They don't dent. That doesn't dent. So that's my first vid on the truck. More to come on it. And I'm gonna record videos of when I fix it up and kind of I don't want to say restore. I don't want to say restore, but I am gonna fix it up. As long as that oil leak doesn't cost an arm and a leg to fix. If it does, I'm just gonna sell it and get away from it. So yeah, here we are. Hope you all have a good weekend and appreciate you, and hang out with your family. Tell them you love them. Have a great night.